So we're not coming to the end of your partnership setup process. As you can see on the visual on your screen, we are actually completing the first phase of your consulting engagement. And so the next steps, outside of making sure that your contract is signed and payment is forthcoming, are clear. It's time to get to work. So here's the thing. I know you have a lot of experience and expertise. Otherwise, you wouldn't be thinking about building a thriving consulting practice. But what I want to do is expand your perception about your role and give you some additional ways of approaching your work with your client. So we've been talking in this entire course about performance gaps. That is why you're brought in, because your client wants those gaps filled. Now, performance gaps can be seen as problems or opportunities, but they're gaps nonetheless at the end of the day. If a gap represents a situation where a client is currently achieving is below expectations, it's a problem. If the gap represents a situation where a client wants to exceed expectations, it's an opportunity, but ultimately, it's a gap between where the client is today and where they want to be, and they really don't know why they have a gap. And that's the space where you can help them the most. You can help them know the real reasons for their gaps, which is usually never what they think it is. And that's not because they're not talented or smart leaders. It's simply because they're just too close to the situation to see it clearly. So you start your work with an assessment because they don't know the real reason for their performance gap, and truthfully, you don't either. All you have are symptoms and suspicions. So starting with an assessment helps your current work by giving you clarity on the root cause, which is that one thing that, if changed, affects all the symptoms. It enables you to provide a guarantee that your solution will work, and it establishes your credibility. Compare a consultant to a doctor. So would you feel more comfortable going into surgery if the surgeon was simply using his or her gut to decide whether or not your appendix had to be removed, or if tests were run and it was certain that those stomach pains that you were experiencing was due to a ruptured appendix and not because you had too much Mexican food the night before you caught your kid's stomach bug? Your assessment benefits future work because you now have the data to support anything that you might proactively recommend in addition to what you've already been contracted to address. So before you get started on implementing a solution, persuade your client to allow you to conduct an insightful assessment. There's lots of talking points that I can give you to persuade your client, such as an assessment will provide us the clear roadmap on what needs to be done to move us from today to the desired future state. Or we can avoid expensive band-aids and maximize our investment of time and resources. But I found the most compelling argument is that an assessment provides a high-value experience for those who participate in the assessment. Regardless if I do an assessment with employees or with customers, I always get comments such as, wow, leadership must really care that they brought you in. Or I often get hugs in the hallways or other shows of appreciation because of the power of being heard. So be on the lookout for future courses and resources designed to enhance your ability to design and deliver assessments that do more than give your clients data. You will be able to provide your clients strategic insight to enhance their decision-making and problem-solving capacity and improve the quality and sustainability of your consulting solutions. So these resources will also help you become savvy in leveraging that insight that you uncovered to land additional contracts. So thank you for joining me in this course. I hope you've walked away with inspiration and practical tools on how to transform a prospect not simply into a buyer, but into a winning partner. Lots of consultants earn business, but not as many can earn trust. So to paraphrase Stephen Covey, trust is the glue of effective consulting. It is the most essential ingredient and foundational principle that holds all strategic partnerships together.